State calls Rachel Collard. What is your
Yes,
full name?
Rachel Rhiannon Collar.
All right. And what is the full name of the child in this case?
Donna Mae Hamby.
When was Donna born?
Notice how quickly they establish the child's age. In custody cases, the age can dramatically impact visitation schedules and parental responsibilities. A 3-year-old still needs a very structured routine.
October 6th of 2021.
So how old is she?
3 years old.
Uh, when did you and Mr. Hamby no longer live with each other?
2023. It was February of 2023 that we stopped living together.
All right. And so um, from February 2023 until today, uh, who has the child been living with for the most part?
Since that time, I've had her Monday through Friday. He has her Friday through Monday, as is the schedule on the temporary order, and that's the way it has always been since separating.
That's a very common temporary order. One parent gets the weekdays, the other gets weekends. But here's the catch. What starts as temporary often becomes the default for years. Do you think that's fair?
So basically, the temporary order that's been done that matches what y'all have been previously doing for the most part.
Yes.
Give me those names again, ma'am, please. Thank you.
Uh, Ma'am, why don't you say it again for the judge? What was that
Um,
schedule like?
I have had her Monday through Friday, um, since the separation in 2023.
Okay.
The temporary order schedule reflects what we've done previously.
And
All right.
Dad had a Friday through Sunday or Friday through Monday. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Friday to Monday.
All right, thank you. May
And Your
proceed.
Honor, I can say that the temporary order possession is uh, Dad has a child from 10 a.m. every Friday and ending at 10 a.m. the following Monday.
All right, thank you.
So, what do you do for a living?
I'm a stay-at-home mom.
When's the last time you've worked?
November of 2024.
What was your job?
I was a server and bartender.
Um, and do you have access to private health insurance for Donna?
Not at this time.
What about private dental?
Not at this time, no.
So what health insurance is Donna on currently?
Medicaid.
So if the court were to make, you primary and Mr. Hamby to pay support, um, would you be okay with current child support of $527?
Yes.
What about cash medical of 158?
Yes.
And has Mr. Hamby ever given you any cash or very expensive, more than $100, very expensive objects for the benefit of Donna?
No.
And so would you be okay with a retroactive total judgment of $18,611?
Yes.
Whoa, did you catch that number? Over $18,000 in retroactive child support. That's not just a payment plan, it's basically a financial gut punch. Courts calculate this based on what should have been paid all along. Do you think that's justice or overreach?
And Your Honor, it looks like I gave you the wrong number. I said 629. It's actually 611. 18,611. Um, Apologies on that, Your Honor. So do you have any safety concerns with Mr. Hamby?
Um,
This is where things heat up. She claims he's dangerous to her, but not to the child. Judges pay very close attention to wording here. If the child's safety isn't in question, the case tilts heavily toward shared custody.
Yes, I do believe that he is potentially a dangerous person to me. I don't think he is a dangerous person to Donna. It has been an extended period of time
All
since
right,
we've
all right,
had
we
physical
got it,
violence.
ma'am. So are you asking for non-disclosure?
No.
Pass the witness.
All right, then, thank you very much. I'm sorry, your witness, Ms. Headlighter, thank you.
Oh, I think she's not
Oh,
here.
okay, yes, she's
Uh,
waiting room. Okay, she got kicked out. Just a second. Yeah. All right. Some technical difficulties, Ms. Garcia.
Yes.
That's okay. We're knee deep in that over here. So anyway, the state just finished up. You didn't miss much, but the state didn't go into detail of why mom wants what she wants. So I guess she'll leave that up to you. So at this time, she is now your witness, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, Judge. Okay. Um, I missed all of that. So, Judge, he just asked about financial information. Is
Pretty
that what
much.
you were?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He did ask about non-disclosure. She said she didn't want it, but she does have some concerns. So you may, but didn't go into detail about anything else. You may proceed. Thank you.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Um, did you indicate to the court earlier in your testimony that you were asking for non-disclosure or that you were not asking for non-disclosure?
I'm not asking for non-disclosure.
Okay, good. All right, ma'am. So, believe through the dealings that you and I have had that you've indicated that you were wishing to be designated as the conservator who designates the primary residence of the child. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you believe that would be in her best interest?
Yes.
Okay, and why would that be in her best interest that you be named primary?
Since the time of Donna's birth, I've been a stay-at-home mom to her. During our separation of February, in February of 2023, was the first time in her life that I'd ever worked. And I willingly worked the weekends as to not ever have a period of time on my parenting time I wasn't able to care for her. And since then, we've maintained that schedule. She's very, very much aware of her schedule and used to being at my house Monday through Friday in his house.
Here's the emotional centerpiece, mom stressing that she's been the primary caregiver since birth. In court, continuity is king. Judges love stability for the child, but should being a stay-at-home mom automatically tip the scale?
On the weekends.
Okay, so when did you guys separate? What year, and then the month, if you know?
We physically separated and stopped living in the same residence in February of 2023.
Okay. And it's your testimony that since that time she's resided with you primarily and visited dad weekends or whenever you guys agreed?
Yes.
Okay. She's never spent a significant amount of time with dad in his home?
There was a time that I went on like a 1 week vacation and she spent a week there, or we've rearranged parenting time. As the current order stands, I do not get weekends with my daughter, so that would be typically something I would have to ask him for. And then in those cases, we have like rearranged parenting time, but no, not consistently at all.
Okay. And does the child currently have health insurance?
Yes, she has Medicaid for her health and dental.
Okay. And that's through you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And who takes her to her appointments?
Me.
Has the father ever taken her to any of her appointments?
He has been with me at a couple of appointments, but the only time that I can think of he's gotten her medical care without me there was shortly after she broke her leg, and he took her to the hospital for a stronger pain medication because she was in pain on his parenting time. Other than that, no.
Okay. So are you the one responsible for setting those appointments up?
Yes.
And do you communicate to him those dates so that he can be involved if he wants to be?
Yes.
And does he typically partake in those appointments? Does he go?
No, a lot of times he'll say, okay, cool, just let me know how it goes.
Okay. Has he gone to any of them?
He did, yes. He went to all of her leg appointments, all the orthopedic appointments for that he was present for. Um, and then one time he did meet me at the hospital when she had some concerning like sinus issues. But overall, no.
Okay. So is it safe to say, maybe, is it fair to say that when it's something serious, like a broken leg or another thing that's concerning, that he is there at those appointments?
Um, I wouldn't quite say that. At 2 years old, she had a severe case of RSV and he was not present at all.
Okay. Do you know why he wasn't present?
I mean, it was entirely willing. I actually did submit the evidence of me repeatedly telling him that it was very serious.
Okay, so do you know why? My question was, do you know why? Did he tell you why he wasn't present?
No.
Okay. Um, all right. All right. So you believe you should be primary, and this is because you've been the primary caretaker throughout the child's life?
Yes, I would also like to bring up that he uses, in my opinion, he uses medical and educational needs of Donna's to bully and intimidate me. He does not like Colleen and thinks she should not see a doctor in Colleen or go to school in Colleen, although that is where her primary residence would be. So it's expected of me that I would drive her 45 minutes to Georgetown, to school, to the doctor, and to the hospital if needed.
Okay, it's expected of you, or it's what he would like for you to do.
It's what he would like for me to do. I at this
But you
time no
haven't.
longer do that.
Okay. Okay. Do you have concerns if he were to be named primary for the child's best interest? Would you have concerns?
Yes, he has repeatedly
What?
failed to identify medical needs of hers, including RSV. He had her, and during that time, he gave her back to me with ear infection. Sorry, it was ear pain drops that were purchased over the counter. And he said, I believe she has an ear infection. And then I expressed to him that if she did have an ear infection, she would need antibiotics, and it would be inappropriate to treat an ear infection with pain relief drops. And that is also the case in which she did end up having RSV and she was hospitalized.
Okay. Was that over the weekend when he had her one time, or when was that?
Yes. The exact dates I'm not sure of, but I could go back and look really quickly.
Are her doctors available on weekends that he could have taken her to her doctor to get looked at, or?
No, he did not. He didn't inform me that she was sick. He did not take her to the hospital. He didn't ask me if there was an after hours clinic or if she needed to go to an urgent care. None of the above. He did not seek any medical treatment for her.
Okay. Let's see. Have you guys been able to communicate effectively with regard to the child so far?
As far as her being picked up and drop off, yes.
Where do you communicate through? Is it through app close?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Have you had any other concerns with communicating
I'm
with
sorry,
him
Ms.
and
Garcia.
co-parenting?
Ms. Garcia, I'm sorry. Ma'am, where's the current pickup and drop off at location, please?
My house.
All right, thank you. You may proceed.
Have you had any issues with communicating with him with regard to other co-parenting issues?
Yes, we had previously agreed that she would be homeschooled for the first few years of her career. And that was just because we could not agree whether it would be Georgetown or Colleen. And now he's reinstated that she can only go to school in Georgetown, and if I cannot comply with that, that I should forfeit my parenting time.
All right, I'll let this stay. I'll let you. Please have her elaborate on that. I'm not sure what that was. What's the makeup on that? Thank you.
Anytime that I have asked him if she, tried to discuss, I even just tried to discuss her going to like a public Christian charter school that's present in Killeen. He disagreed. He said that he is not Christian. He doesn't follow those beliefs, so he refuses. He does not want her to be in school in Killeen because it's ghetto and he does not like Killeen. And he just does
Okay.
not agree.
All right, I got it now. Thank you. You may proceed, Ms. Garcia. Thank you.
Okay. And the exchanges are occurring at your house. Has there been any issues, or are the exchanges pretty smooth?
There's been multiple instances of him being physically harassing or verbally harassing towards me, but outside of that, no.
What do you mean by physically or verbally harassing?
He's pulled on my hair, said inappropriate remarks. He even at one point said, "Oh, I know that you hate me because of everything in court," directly in front of Donna, who is highly intelligent and fully verbal.
Yikes. Allegations of inappropriate remarks and physical harassment. This is where credibility becomes everything. Without solid evidence like texts, witnesses, or recordings, it's just her word against his. What do you think? Should courts take verbal testimony alone as enough?
Okay. Inappropriate remarks in front of the child?
Yes.
What kind of remarks are they?
I have Crohn's disease, so my weight fluctuates pretty heavily, and he made multiple comments that I was looking more full figured and things like that, like commenting on my my boobs, my butt, saying that they look larger than usual. There's also been times where he said, "Oh, he grabbed my waist, like put his hands around my waist and said, 'Oh, it's hard to tell when you're wearing baggy clothes, but you're just getting so skinny, you need to take care of yourself.'"
Okay. Are there any concerns over that you're aware of in Dad's home when the child goes over there to stay with him for visits?
Not at this time. Well, yes.
Okay, here's the deal, ma'am. You can only testify to things you've seen, not what someone's told you, not what you've heard. You had to see him, or he had to tell you about it. All right, thank you.
Yes. I absolutely forgot. So he has provided her the incorrect car seat. She currently and has been in a backless booster seat, which is illegal in the state of Texas. She does not meet the height and weight and age requirements for that. And she's been in it since she was, I think, 2 years old. I have told him over text message that it was inappropriate, that the paramedics that I spoke to said that it was illegal and he would be stopped. His response was, "The police that stopped me for my speeding ticket didn't say anything, and so I think it's okay."
Okay. Do you have any concerns about his home was my question.
He also lets her ride a Harley Davidson, which
Ma'am. Again, the question, any concerns about his house, his home, not his vehicle?
no, sorry, not his physical house.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. In your home, where the child resides most of the time, who all lives in that home?
Myself, my partner, Donna, and then my younger son, Cameron.
Okay. And how is Donna and Cameron's relationship?
Very, very strong.
And how old is Cameron at this time?
He is, I think, 22 months old, so 1.5 approximately.
Okay. All right. Now when I first was appointed on this case, there was some sort of a reset/temp order where the judge had asked that you and the father drug test. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. And you, in fact, did complete that drug test and turn it in to me, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you recall the results of that drug test?
Yes.
Okay. They were positive for marijuana, correct?
Yes.
Just marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You probably heard my opening statement. I did mention to the court that you possess, well, I guess you qualify under the Compassionate Use Act here in Texas for medical use of marijuana?
Yes.
All right. And is that for the Crohn's disease that you mentioned?
Yes.
Okay, and where and what is the name of the physician that you visited to qualify for the certification of being able to use?
I can't recall his name directly, but I was recommended by my GI specialist, who is part of Baylor Scott and White.
Yes.
And her name is Dr. Todd. I do
Okay.
not know her first name.
Okay. And that's with hospital you said, Scott and White? That
Yes,
referred you?
Baylor Scott and White, yes.
Right. And so you are using it to manage your symptoms, your Crohn's disease symptoms, correct?
Yes, previously I was on an opioid treatment. I've had several surgeries regarding my health issues, and Mr. Hamby is aware of that.
Okay. Okay, so it would be your testimony that you believe that at this time, it would be in the child's best interest for her to continue to reside with you primarily and have visits with dad?
Yes.
Okay. I pass the witness.
All right, anything on redirect, Mr. Welch?
Your Honor, very briefly, Your Honor. Uh, are you a veteran, Miss Collard?
I am not, but my partner is.
All right. And besides Donna, how many other children do you have?
Just the one.
And that one child, is she biologically or adopted yours?
He is the child of me and my current partner.
And how old is that child?
Approximately 1.5.
Pass the witness.
All right, anything else for this witness for now, Ms. Garcia?
Oh yes, I just thought of something. Your current partner, the father of your child, Cameron, how long have you two been in a relationship?
I have lived with him, and at the time I lived with him and other roommates, and that was beginning in March of 2023. But we started dating and really seeing each other probably a few months after that, like May of 2023.
Okay. And so Donna has lived around him since then as well?
Yes,
Okay. And do they have what kind of relationship does he have with Donna?
they also have a very strong relationship.
Okay. So they get along well.
Yes, she was approximately 1.5 when they started developing a relationship, and she will be 4 next Monday.
Okay. Okay. I'm past witness.
All right, Mr. Welch?
No, Your Honor.
All right, call your next witness then, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.